Da, 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 da. You gotta pay the troll toll if you want to get into that boy's soul. You gotta pay the troll toll to get into. Da, 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 da. If you don't watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you won't know what that is. But just look up It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia troll toll. That brings us to today's topic. We are gonna talk about trolls. So somebody left a very mean review of The Mouse and the Bread on IMDb, and I suspect that the same person did it on Amazon Prime, where you can find the film. And it wasn't even that nasty. Like, he wasn't, saying anything obscene or really that derogatory. It's just that he was saying stuff that was just like, he said, I understand the filmmaker didn't have a lot of money, but that's no excuse for the way the editing was, and the shots could have been planned better, and da-da-da. It might seem like I'm ripping this movie apart, but I have a feeling they could have done so much more with just the budget they had. I was actually on a podcast recently where I talked about criticism, and I'd said, look, people, they love to rag on me for not being able to take criticism, but, and they have the right to say that, but when they say that, I always think of the story of how potato chips were born. My chips, not your chips. People watching in England and Australia and the rest of the world. Why am I saying this as if there are people across the world who care about this channel? They were invented by a chef, I believe in Florida. I think it was Sarasota, Florida. Don't quote me on that. But there's a chef, and one of the customers in the restaurants he was working at sent his order of potatoes back, saying that they were too thick. And the chef, who did not like being criticized, said, oh yeah, I'll show him. So he got a potato, and he cut it into really, really almost paper thin sort of circles, if you will. And then he threw them into the deep fryer, and he fried them until they were almost burnt to a crisp, and he threw a bunch of salt on them, and he was like, that'll show him. And then he sent it out from the kitchen, and the customer reportedly loved it. And that is how chips were born. I could be creating the next chips. Why am I delusional enough to think I can make something as good as a potato chip? I'm the type of person that is like so hardwired for negativity. Like, if I get 10 compliments, it's gonna weigh the same as like one negative comment. I don't know. Like, it's just, it bugs me so much, and I can't, like, it's not really something that I can do much about. I mean, I can change the way I react to it. I can choose not to respond. I can choose not to go on Facebook and say that I wish the guy's family burns to death Manchester by the Sea style. I could have not done that, that part is in my control, but I can't control the way it makes me feel. Like, even if I choose not to respond to it, it's still gonna hit me hard for a few days. I feel like the people who have not seen my work and they see those comments before seeing my work, if they hear about it, like, that's gonna color their judgment before they watch it. And it's like, that's why I make a point to encourage people to read the good reviews before watching the film rather than after. I know some people don't like to read reviews at all before watching something because they think that's going to color their perception, whether the review is good or bad. And I know I've heard people say, like, oh, like, it's really condescending when you tell someone, I highly recommend reading this article before you watch the film. Like, no, I'm not doing it to be condescending. I just don't want you to give up on it. Whenever someone's like, hey, send me the link, I go into freak out mode and I'm like, okay, I'll send you the link, but here's a good review, and here's a good review, and here's an article with a synopsis, and you better read it, and I didn't have any money, and the sound makes you want to Van Gogh yourself. It's almost like a prophylactic, like when you take a prophylactic to prevent yourself from getting an infection. Like, that's almost what it is. Like, I want to shield myself from any negativity before I can hear it. I just wish I had the confidence of, say, like, I hate to say it, but Donald Trump. I mean, nothing shakes this guy. Have you noticed? Like, anyone who criticized him is like, sad SNL, failing New York Times, da-da-da. Like, I wish I had the courage to say, Movie Man 1013 left this comment. Sad, failing Movie Man 1013. I'm not saying I want to be like Trump. Like, I don't want to be a racist, sexist, xenophobic, misogynist, homophobe, whatever. I was genuinely bothered by what he said. And that's the thing, I want to not be bothered by what people say, but I can't help it. I can't help it. Everything's a mess. I can't help it. You're so treacherous when it comes to tenderness. Since you're gone, oh, nothing's making sense since you're gone. Oh, what you might think I'm crazy to hang around with you. Maybe you think I'm lucky to have something to do. That was my Rick Ocasek impression. R.I.P. Whenever an artist dies, and be it a songwriter or an author or, you know, doesn't it make you, I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I'm talking mostly to the folks who are watching who are creators. Do you, like, when somebody like that passes away, does it make you think about your own legacy? Like, I don't know, it does that to me. I felt the same way when Tom Petty died. And, like, I know that's really morbid and narcissistic, probably, for me to just think, oh, like, it makes me think about myself. But it's like, I also know that I'm in my mid-20s, and that's hopefully mortality is not something that I'll have to be facing for a long time. But the thing is, we don't know how long that time is. And, like, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, I would not be happy with what I've left behind so far. How do you guys deal with trolls, you creators out there? Do you respond to them in a Trump-like way, or do you just internalize it the way I do and get depressed? What do you do? And how should we respond to trolls? Please comment below. I have to go to work in a little bit. Bye. Bye, love. Bye. Bye, love. Okay, I know that was sung by Or, not Ocasek, before somebody comes at me in the comments, oh, you're not a real music fan, you're not a real Cars fan. I just thought it was appropriate to end the video with, because it's a way of saying goodbye. And you're all my loves. So, bye. Bye, love.